Picture this. You've spent decades protecting your family, managing the investments, keeping everything organized. Then life changes. Suddenly, your spouse, or many of you who are single, the person who will eventually step in, maybe a child, a sibling, or a trusted friend, is staring at accounts and statements without a roadmap. According to Federal Reserve data, 41% of widowed women had zero financial conversations before their spouse died, and more than half struggled financially afterward. Today, I want to show you how addressing this now protects the people who matter most and gives you continuity that lasts. A lot of people in their late 50s and 60s tell me, I've handled the money forever. I know what I'm doing. And they're right. The vulnerability isn't now. The vulnerability is what happens after, when someone else has to make sense of a system they never helped build. For couples, that's the surviving spouse. For singles, it's the person who gets the call and inherits all the complexity. The emotional cost isn't the markets, it's the silence. Hi, I'm Ben Lockery, a certified financial planner and founder of Lock Wealth. I spent a decade inside Capital Group and Invesco, two of the largest asset managers in the world, seeing how investments and retirement strategies are built at the core. Now I help people create clarity for themselves and for the family members who may one day need to step in. And toward the end, I'll show you the simple system I use with couples and singles to prevent financial confusion when life changes suddenly. There's a belief that avoiding a 1% advisory fee means saving money. Here's the emotional math. Studies show DIY investors underperform by 2 to 3% per year due to behavioral mistakes, panic selling, market timing, reacting to headlines, overconfidence. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. That's not me. I don't fall into that group. And you might be right. If you've got the discipline of a Navy pilot, that's fantastic. The challenge is that the data shows most investors behave differently during stressful markets, and it's nearly impossible to see our own blind spots in real time. Then there's the cousin or friend of a friend advice that challenge strategies or products that sound useful but don't match your goals, tax picture, or withdrawal plan. And if you're single, there's an extra layer. You're the only person who understands your system. If life shifts unexpectedly, someone else has to unravel everything without context. DIY isn't wrong. It simply carries hidden risks you don't feel until later. Another belief I hear often is, I'm at Schwab, I'm at Fidelity, I'm at JP Morgan, I'm covered. These are excellent platforms, dependable, efficient, well-resourced. The myth is expecting them to deliver everything you need. You still pay through fund expense ratios, trading costs, and managed product fees. And none of that includes withdrawal sequencing, Roth planning, tax strategy, Social Security optimization, estate coordination, spousal continuity, or single person continuity. And here's something people underestimate until it happens. When you call a big custodian, you never get the same person twice. One day it's Mark, next time it's Rebecca, then it's a new voice entirely. Nobody knows your story. Nobody knows your spouse. Nobody knows the logic behind your decisions. Contrast with having one point of contact, someone who understands your entire financial arc and the people you care about. For couples, that means your spouse never has to retell the entire financial history. For singles, it means your future executor has a guide instead of a help desk. And here's a piece people often overlook. According to research from Altruist, thoughtful tax planning can add roughly 1 to 2% per year in tax alpha through smarter withdrawal sequencing, asset location, tax loss harvesting, and proactive Roth strategies. Big custodians are excellent platforms. They simply weren't designed for continuity. Now, according to research, 41% of widowed women had zero financial conversations before losing their spouse. 51% struggled financially afterward. 70% changed advisors within the first year, usually because the advisor only knew the husband. And only 6% of couples ever met with an advisor together before death. For couples, the danger isn't the portfolio, it's the information gap. For singles, the responsibility shifts to a different question. Who steps in when you can't? Who knows where everything is? Who understands your intentions? Who can carry your plan forward without stress or guesswork? If something happens tomorrow, does the person who will take over know what to do or even where to start? I worked with a couple where the husband handled every financial decision for 35 years. When we walked through everything together, his wife leaned back and said, "I've never felt this calm about money." He realized his plan wasn't complete until she felt confident too. I also worked with a widower with no children. His biggest fear wasn't running out of money. It was leaving a complicated, messy system for his sister. Once we created clarity, the relief was visible. Different situations, same outcome. Clarity creates peace. Here's the structure I use with clients. First, document the full system. Every account, password, income source, tax strategy, and beneficiary in one place. If you're single, identify the future point person who will receive this clarity. Second, meet together consistently. Couples, 2 sets of eyes, 1 shared understanding. Singles, review annually with your trusted person. And third, build a continuity path. Who to call, where the documents live, what to do first, how income flows, and who knows the plan. Singles, create a simple start here folder for the person who will eventually step in. This isn't about complexity, it's about calm. If you want help building a plan that protects you and the people who may one day step in, schedule a time with us. We'll walk you through your full retirement picture and give you clarity you can feel. Whether you're planning as a couple or planning independently, the goal is the same. A plan that honors your work, protects your future, and makes the next chapter easier for the people you care about. You're capable of creating that confidence, and you don't have to build it alone.